Good morning. This is Giovanni Gallucci, joined by Chloe Dawn and Rachel Donovan, and this is the Daily Trend Report.
Morning, Gio. Took the long way in. 92 before 8, and the Z didn't complain once.
Morning. I've had a Pinterest board open since I was 15, so today's a little personal.
Good, because it leads. Today, the app everybody wrote off that's quietly a search engine, a shelf opening up for a very specific eater, and the brands turning their content into a checkout line.
So Eddie put Pinterest near the top this morning, and I'll admit I did a double take. Social Media Today ran a whole playbook on building a brand there. 630 million people a month, and most of them show up already shopping.
Which is the whole story right there. Everybody files Pinterest under old mood board app and moves on. Meanwhile, it quietly turned into a visual search engine. And search is a different animal than a feed.
Say more on that. Different how?
A feed is a slot machine. You pull the handle at 9 in the morning, the reach runs for a day or two, and the thing's gone. Pinterest is a library card catalog. Somebody types sheet pan dinner in November and finds the pin you made in July, sitting right there, still working.
Travis had the same read. He called the pins evergreen inventory instead of posts.
And that word inventory matters for a small team. On the feed, the giants beat you on volume every single day. They've got 100 people cranking. You can't outpost them, but you can outlast them on a surface where one good evergreen thing keeps getting found for 6 months.
The buying intent part is what got me. People aren't there to argue. They're there to plan a kitchen or a trip.
That's the edge. On most platforms, you're interrupting somebody. On Pinterest, they came looking for exactly what you sell. You don't have to manufacture the want. You just have to be findable when the want shows up.
And it's not only people searching anymore, is it?
No, and this is the part I'd underline. A pin is structured. A title, a description, a clean image, all of it readable. That's exactly what the AI answer engines are scraping to build their responses now. So one good pin can get found twice, once by a person typing a question, and once by a machine answering one. Your evergreen shelf life just got longer again.
Kendall flagged the timing on it too. Pinterest search climbs weeks ahead of a season.
Right, and that's the discipline. You post holiday in October, back to school in July, because the searching starts before the calendar does. Show up early and you own the answer before the crowd arrives.
I do this by accident, honestly. My styling boards from 2 years ago still send me traffic.
And that's the tell. You didn't touch them and they kept working. Nobody's evergreen post on the feed does that because the feed has no memory. Pinterest does. That memory is the asset most brands are walking right past.
So where do people blow it?
They treat it like the feed. Daily disposable churn, clever captions nobody's actually searching. Pinterest doesn't reward noise. It rewards a clean, specific, evergreen thing built to be found. Small brands win on specificity anyway. This is the one platform that pays you for it. Okay, 3 quick takeaways before we move on. 1. Make evergreen, not disposable. Take the 10 things your buyer actually types into search, the how do I, and the best for, and build one clean vertical pin answering each, titled in plain words.
2. Post ahead of the calendar. Your holiday and back-to-school pins go up now, while the searching is climbing, not the week everybody else piles in.
3. Repurpose what you already own. One recipe reel or carousel becomes 4 standalone pins that keep getting found for months. So you claim the surface without shooting anything new. So the one I keep coming back to is Kate Farms. Modern Retail had it. They started back in 2012 making organic plant-based nutrition for kids on tube feeding. Very specific, very clinical.
And not a sexy shelf.
Not at all. But they looked at the GLP-1 crowd, the folks on the appetite drugs, and realized those people need the exact thing Kate Farms already makes. Dense, high-protein, clean, in a small volume. They designed for it and walked right into more space at Walmart.
That's the part worth sitting with. GLP-1 didn't just change a diet, it opened a whole category of need. When you can only eat a little, every bite has to carry its weight. That's a real specific person with a real specific problem.
And a person who's probably already talking about it online.
Constantly. There's a whole corner of TikTok that's, what I actually eat in a day on this, in their own words, not a brand's.
Which is the opening, and it's where most brands are about to blow it. Big Food will slap GLP-1 friendly on a reformulated nothing and call it a strategy. Travis and Kendall both flagged the bandwagon risk. A sticker isn't a fit.
So what does the honest version look like?
You market the moment, not the molecule. Don't sell the drug. Film the actual situation, the small plate at dinner where 3 bites is the whole meal, so everyone has to count. Say, made for the days you can only eat a little, and let that person see their own Tuesday on the screen.
That lands a lot softer than a supplement pitch.
Because it's a mirror, not a megaphone. And here's the small operator edge. A clean label independent that genuinely fits this need can say so today, plainly, while the Giants' legal team is still arguing over the label. Specificity beats a bigger budget when the budget is aimed at everybody.
The skeptical part of me says people can smell a brand chasing a trend, though.
They absolutely can, and that's why the content has to do the work the label can't. The shelf follows the story now, not the other way around. Kate Farms didn't win that Walmart space with a slogan. They earned the belief that the fit was real, and the buyer followed the audience. Make the person believe it on screen, and the distribution argument gets a whole lot easier.
And you don't overclaim. You just show the fit.
Show the fit, name the moment, and take a real position on the fakers. That's a brand with a spine, and the spine is the one thing the sticker crowd can't copy. 3 things you can actually do today.
1. Speak the buyer's exact words. This audience narrates its own day already. Caption and script your content in that language, so you show up inside their scroll instead of shouting over it.
2. Hand the mic to real customers. A short series of actual users showing how it fits a hard eating day beats any nutrition panel, and it's a lot harder for a giant to fake.
3. Take the honest position out loud. Most GLP-1 friendly labels are opportunistic. Say what a real fit looks like and call the bandwagon what it is. A brand with a point of view earns the trust the label slappers never will. So the tactics file this week all points one direction, and Eddie had the 2 clearest examples. The storefront moved inside the content. True Religion, of all brands, is chasing $1 billion in revenue, roughly doubling its stores, and a big piece of the plan is TikTok Shop.
True Religion. The jeans from 2005.
The exact ones. A brand plenty of people wrote off, and they're back by putting the checkout where the discovery happens. You see it in the video, you buy it in the same 3 seconds, you never leave the app.
It's wild that the comeback engine is a checkout button and not an ad campaign.
That's the whole reframe. A brand that was culturally dead didn't buy its way back with awareness. It got rediscovered on a platform where the finding and the buying live in the same swipe. The content is the store. And for a small brand, that's the good news, because you can stand up a shop inside the app this week for basically nothing, and you're on the same shelf as everybody else.
That's just how my whole generation shops. Nobody's opening a browser tab. If I can't buy it in the app, I've already forgotten it.
And that's the shift in one sentence. Discovery and checkout used to be 2 different rooms. Now they're the same tap. Eddie's other one was Pop Sockets, a maturing little accessory brand, betting its next act on limited drops plus TikTok.
Drops meaning the scarcity thing. Here for a minute, then gone.
Right, and the drop does a job. It gives the video a reason to exist beyond views. Watch this, act now or miss it. A deadline turns a scroll into a decision.
Scarcity's an old trick, though. What makes it work here?
It's old because it works, but the new part is the checkout sitting right there. Old world scarcity sent you to a store later, and later is where the urge dies. Now the drop and the buy button are in the same frame. The wanting and the buying finally happen in the same breath.
So who's the cautionary tale?
Not a flop exactly, but watch Canada Goose. They launch these gorgeous cinematic brand films, Natural Intelligence, Tornado Chasers, Big Country, a sharp little jab at the AI everything moment. Beautiful work.
I hear a but coming.
The but is there's no buy button anywhere near it, and Canada Goose can afford that. They've got the budget and the shelf already. Here's the trap for everybody else. You watch that film, you decide that's what good looks like, and you pour your tiny budget into awareness with no path to purchase attached.
Renting attention you can't cash.
That's it exactly. The giant can waste awareness. You can't. For the independent, the content and the cash register have to be the same object. That's the real equalizer here. You used to need a retail buyer's blessing to reach a shelf. Now the shelf is a tab in the app, and you can stand it up yourself this week.
Even in a slower purchase world like cars, the closer you put the next step to the discovery, the better it goes.
Every category. Shorten the distance between, oh, nice, and, okay, I'm in. That distance is where sales go to die. Here's what to do with all of that. 1. Put the buy button inside the content. If your platform has in-app checkout, set the shop up and tag the product right in the video, so it's one tap, not a link in bio scavenger hunt.
2. Give the video a job. Build a real deadline or a limited run into the post and tie it to that in-app shop, so the content has work to do beyond racking up views.
3. Don't fund awareness you can't cash. Before you pay for the pretty film, make sure there's a path to purchase attached. No next step means you're spending like a giant on a budget that isn't one.
That's the report. If you run a brand and the organic side feels like a treadmill, that's the work I do at gallucci.net. Organic social strategy, the whole plan, which surfaces to own, what to make, and how to turn a following into a business. Built for a small team that can't outshout the giants and shouldn't try. We win on specificity instead. Find me at gallucci.net or DM at gallucci.net on Instagram or LinkedIn. Talk tomorrow.